Yes. Okay. 3.
Good afternoon and salam sejahtera. Thank you for being with us this afternoon. My name is 𝗬𝗪𝗠. I'm from Selangor Human Resource Development Center. I will be your moderator for today's forum. It is our honor to launch our very first web forum from 𝗦𝗺𝗿𝗁 today. We know that digital transformation is no longer an option for most of us if we are to stay competitive and to compete in the global market. It has been 3 years since the launch of Industry Forward initiative, and responses from manufacturers are still low and slow. In October 2021, the 𝗦𝗺𝗿𝗁 team ran a survey across Malaysia and found that about half the respondents are still not sure about Industry 4.0 technologies and how is it applicable to their organization. They are also concerned about capital investment, pivot readiness of their people, complexity of the technologies, and finally, what is the ROI if we to invest in Industry 4? So where can they go to get these questions answered? A group of like-minded Industry 4.0 drivers came together and started the 𝗦𝗺𝗺𝗁 initiative. 𝗦𝗺𝗺𝗁 is an initiative to address manufacturers' concerns and challenges to adopt Industry 4.0. It is a collaborative partnership of manufacturers, technology and solution providers, trade industry associations, and relevant government agencies. It is a pleasure to have representatives of the founding members of, we call them the Industry 4.0 drivers today, of 𝗦𝗺𝗁 here with us this afternoon. I would like to introduce Industry 4 drivers here. And we have MPC, Malaysian Productivity Corporation, Puan Saliza. Unified Business, Encik Jasmine. Mr. KK Pang from Arisis Industries. Mr. John Loh from Emerging EPC. Mr. KT Ng for ICA40, sorry. Ms. Su Ann from Monitor ERP. Mr. Alvin Ng from 𝗦𝗫𝗍 Solutions. We also have 𝗫𝗍𝗫 Brand and Marketing Group, Mr. Yap. He's not able to join us this afternoon. And myself, I'm 𝗬𝗪𝗠 from Selangor Human Resource Development Center. So these are the founding members of the 𝗦𝗺𝗺𝗁 initiative. Thanks again for all your attendance today, for being with us this afternoon. So today we are going to discuss about challenges, adoption, and outlook for Industry 4.0. Before we start our discussion this afternoon, can I request all participants to turn on their camera for a group photo? And as you can see, all the panelists here, we have our Masquerade Ultra X mask on with us to keep ourselves safe for this entire session. So we are ready for a group photo. Turn on the camera and smile. All right, thank you so much. So let's start our discussion with the panelists today. When we started, before we started the 𝗦𝗺𝗁𝗁 initiative, all of us got together over a few Sunday nights. We remember from June to August, every alternate Sunday nights, we get together and discuss about challenges by the SMEs and how can we help these companies to improve their productivity and also to address their challenges. We decided that we should do something together to help these companies. And we believe that in SHRDC, we believe in people-focused strategy where if your internal people are not ready to adopt the Industry 4, therefore they will not be able to sustain the system. So what do you foresee the Industry Forward can do for the Malaysian manufacturers, especially the SME? So maybe Alvin, you want to share your points?
Okay, thank you, 𝗬𝗪𝗠. So I think based on my personal experience working as SMEs, they are usually looking for solutions for different areas. And And instead of them looking for different vendors, this is where we are very, very powerful. We come together as a team to be the fluid of helping SMEs move forward. Whether you need an ERP, OEE, or you need a cloud solution, you need on-prem solution, it doesn't matter. We will work as a team, and because we've been working with each other for quite a while, we try to cover as many grounds as possible. Yeah. So this is where we believe we can help drive IR4 for SMEs.
Yeah, I need to add with 𝗕𝗏. A lot of manufacturing are looking for how to improve the efficiency or effectiveness of the equipment. But are we going to do it manually? Where labor now is shortage, and it's good, I think, if the manufacturers start to implement and involve IR4 into the system, where we can get the real data, analyze it, and for the manufacturer to make the best and right decision. I think this is where the Smart Forward team can come in and support and help. Yeah. Thanks to me.
Yeah, thank you. So we all agree that together we can achieve more, and together we can make a difference for the industry. Therefore, we come together and we started this Smart Forward initiative. I can say that way back in June, we have been talking about this, and in August, we actually finalized and started the Smart Forward. We set up the Smart Forward groups together informally, and in September, we formalized the relationship. And in October itself, we already started to run a survey together and to understand what is actually the challenges of the SMEs. Okay, and with this Smart Forward initiative, like 𝗕𝗏𝗪𝗔, our aspiration is to reach as many SMEs as possible and to help them to demystify the concept of Industry 4. A lot of SME, back in 2018, our government are already sharing about the 9 pillars and all this, and the big terms, the jargons are scaring the SMEs because it sounds so difficult, it sounds so expensive. So our idea is to reach as many SME as possible and to help them demystify the concept. It is actually not so difficult, it's actually not so expensive. But you have to dream big and start small, and you must take the first step to keep starting. So Mr. Tong, what made you decide to join this Smart Forward initiative, and what will you do to achieve, what will you achieve through this Smart Forward?
Thank you, Suri. I started my career as a service engineer in semiconductor industry, and I have been 20 over years working in the semiconductor. I find that there are many technologies are very contemporary, but yet are very good and useful to be shared among the SME manufacturing. And so my company is looking forward to play a role to bridge the technology gap between the SME and the semiconductor industry in the form to transfer not only hardware, software, but also the technology, soft skills, hard skills to be used for SME so that they know where to improve their efficiency, equipment performance, yield, and productivity. And like what you just mentioned. In nowadays, many technology, because of innovation and evolving, and so many components are getting less expensive. So it's a very encouraging, and so we will benefit the SME to start to adopt things like, for example, the IoT node, server, cloud, the sensor, PLC, are getting very pricing. What I said, they call it affordability. They will encourage the SME to start to adopt the software to improve efficiency. So, and leverage on the team here, and we are enthusiastic, we are ambitious, we are committed to help the SME to kickstart the SME Industry 4.0 transformation. All right, thank you.
So we also heard a lot of SME mention that we don't know where to start, we don't know how to start, and we don't know where to go and challenges like this. So Smart Forward is here available for you to ask all these questions. And also to answer the question of where to start, I think maybe now under MPC also the readiness assessment, Industry Forward readiness assessment. So maybe Saliza, can you share with us, what is the present status of the Industry 4.0 adoption in Malaysia, and how this Industry Forward readiness assessment are able to help accelerate the adoption of the Industry 4.0.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Moderator. Okay, actually, talking about government perspective on Industry Forward adoption 4.0. I believe that I think we already know that MPC government and MITIS, under MITIS, we have launched National 4.0 policy. Right? From there, we start implement what we call it readiness assessment, industry forward initiative. So what are the benefits? Current status that currently from 2019 to 2021, we managed to get about 1,070 companies approved readiness assessment. So we're talking about benefit. Yes, of course. Now people talking about digitalization. How to start? I mean, to search the affordable, right? As mentioned by colleagues. So, of course, the benefit, first and foremost, you need to start with what is your gaps on the implementation of 4.0. So during the practices and the initiative, of course, we gathered all the information on the pain points and challenges. Then from there, they know that where to, of course, to know their status, their level. So currently, most of the SMEs approved readiness assessment, they are in the band 2, they call it newcomer level. They are not really ready to adopt the 4.0. That is the current status and also the benefits that they get after they enroll the readiness assessment. Thank you.
So we have like more than 1,000 SME companies completed the RA, and as we can understand also in the RA report, to understand that what are the gaps, what are the pain points, and with that report, the SME can then start on their own or approach solution providers or consultant to help them to address this pain point. Right. So with the RA report and the SME provided with this detailed recommendation to move forward and which area to focus. So like for unified business, in your opinion, right, Jasmine, what is it? What is in the why would this manufacturer adopt the Industry 4.0 and how is it relevant to the manufacturers? Why do they need to take that first step to further the recommendation and improve themselves?
Yes, okay. From unified business, we have nearly 400,000 SMEs. So we want them to embark in this IR 4.0 journey. But we understand that digital transformation is not easy. From conversation with the colleagues, they said that some manufacturers, they have reservation. Because getting into this IR 4.0 is like a buzzword. People are talking about IoT. So what is it all about? So it comes back to the business objective actually. So from our survey, the Smart Forward survey, we find out that they want to increase in terms of business operation, number one. Number two, reducing costs. And of course, to increase sales. So technology is just a means to an end. How this technology, IoT or R4.0 can really help transform the business. So that's the key thing. So in unified business, that's why we work together with the Smart Forward team to be closer to the SME to support them. So because we believe that it's not easy, it's a transformation journey. And from Unify, we have a solution in terms of connectivity as well as other solutions that may help the manufacturers to embark on this journey. So that's why we want to be part of the team to together be with the SMEs.
Yes, Mr. Ng?
Yeah, actually, it's right because that for us, not only the technology will be as a prime, and I believe that our national industrial forward, the policy is very good, which have the 3 factors. And on our side, which is we are very focused onto the people readiness, and also we are looking onto the process robustness and capability. So when we have these 2 in control, then the adoption of the technology will be very much available. Thank you.
John, do you have anything to add?
I think with the government initiative to move to 5G, I think IR4 definitely can be enhanced with the more advanced technology now. Yeah, I mean to anchor what Suling said on. I remember Dr. Chua always say, IR4 look complicated, but if you cut into a bite size, it's not difficult to implement. Everybody can do. Everybody can start. Yeah.
So we always say you dream big, you have your dream of how you want to transform your company, but you must always take the small steps first. Right. So if these companies, the SMEs, they are interested to adopt, where and how do they start? Right. So these are the questions that we always hear from the SMEs. So like in SHRBC, we also hear from the clients asking the same question. Where can I start how do I start, and where can we get these questions answered? They always come and with all these questions, and for us, it's usually we share with them a digital transformation journey. The first step, very, very important, is to get the leadership buy-in. If there's no leadership buy-in, whatever you discuss in the shop floor, whatever improvement you want to do, at the end, when you come to getting leadership approval, you don't get it, nothing can happen. So leadership buy-in is very important. And the second thing in our digital transformation roadmap is we talk about people development. Get the people ready so that they are able to support and to maintain the system when you start with the digitalization process. So this is what we normally share with our clients on get the people ready first, get your management to support and get the people ready first. Then you only talk about technology, talk about improving your processes. So that is from our point of view. So like Ms. Sue Ann from Monitor ERP side, what will be your what will you advise your client when they ask you this question?
Well, to top what Suk-Ling have mentioned, a lot of times we have seen SMEs jumping into the I 4.0 adoption without setting a clear expectations on what they want to achieve. For example, the KPI, the goals, and then they are lacking a focus in identifying the current challenges as well. So for the first stepping stone would be to lay a strong expectation and to draw a very clear expectation on what they want to achieve when they implement Industry 4.0 solutions. So it's just like if you take part in a marathon and without proper training, without proper skills and the stamina, then you'll not be able to finish the race. So again, we relating back to what Suk-Ling have said, the people mindset, the behavioral change. When you want to adopt Industry 4.0, just be ready and be open to change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Suk-Ling.
Thank you. So change is not just at the shop floor level. I think the leadership must also drive the change activities so that your subordinates and the implementers are able to execute the plan accordingly and make sure the transformation process is successful. Right. So about Mr. Ng.
Yeah, actually, I fully agree with what you all actually highlighted. A very important thing for me is I want to highlight again the top management commitment, the business owner commitment is the key. And of course, not only commit but participating in order to actually construct a very clear roadmap. The development roadmap has to be clear. And of course, this development roadmap, it will be actually structured. That means from the people readiness, like what HSBC have been highlighted. And of course, when the people is ready, we have to look at the business process, the operation process. So from there, we need to actually gain stability. Then clearly that what are the investment or relevant investment of technology to be actually invested onto the business. So I believe that with kind of clarity which we can achieve, then the investment will be very much secure.
Thank you, Mr. Ng. Elvin, do you have anything else to add?
No, I think he hit the nail on the head. I think to sum up, 70% is always planning, 30% is execution. And if 70% is so much, then would you do it alone? Do you need drivers to help you? So going back to my original question, we are here to support the growth because we are very passionate about growth in Malaysia. So yeah.
Thank you.
Just something like to add. I think whatever initiative objective is also aligned with the government requirement, whereby surprisingly in readiness assessment report, most of the challenges highlighted that people are the main what you call it factors that contribute to the reluctant on develop 4.0. So no strategics, no roadmap. So this is actually what we have done in this group aligned with that initiative.
Yeah. So I agree with Puan Saliza on people. A lot of SME that we spoke to, some bosses even told us, oh, what should I train my people when after train they will quit and join another company. So our question to them is, what if you don't train them? What if you don't train them and they still stay very long with you and your productivity still be like that, you're not looking at any improvement. So what if you don't train these people? And what if you don't start thinking about improving your processes? Adopting Industry 4 is one of the way. And if the government has already got the initiative, now we see there is the RA, Industry Forward RA readiness assessment. We also see MPC also doing the productivity 1010 assessment. If you think RA is so complicated and takes so much of your time, I think the MPC productivity 1010 is a self-diagnostic tool that you can use and can do it on your own. And you can also get any of the SI to analyze your report as well, because it's the same. It's a simplified model. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong. So I think there's always for SME that you must always take the first step and must be committed to get started. Otherwise, you will still be there and you will be losing out. You will be losing out. We see that a lot of companies are improving. China is also catching up. Vietnam is also catching up. So if you are not doing anything and hoping that you can catch up, then I think we are at the losing end of the game. Yeah. So top management is one of the challenges that we need to convince them that you have to do something. What are the other common challenges that we also always hear from the industry?
Actually, it should be, I would say, the mindset. The mindset, we are at the conventional stage. So I believe that most of the business owner, they should be more innovative mindsets and more collaborative mindsets, so that they can actually walk not alone, rather than being engagement with the drivers like us, which is actually as a team to actually go into the ecosystem and develop together.
Yeah, I think in the Smart Forward initiative, there is also one activity, we call it the corporate visits. Right, a lot of SME, they cannot see how the adoption of technology can help improve their productivity. So in the Smart Forward initiative, we have also, in our plan, we are also planning to do benchmarking visit to bring interested SME owners to visit some companies who have already successfully started or maybe halfway on doing this 4.0 adoption, and to let them see the before and after. So before they start with the adoption, what are the productivity numbers are like, and now, even before the completion, what are the improvement that they are already seeing? Yeah. So these are one of the activities that we will be doing to address these challenges of telling them, to get them to see it for themselves, so that they can take the first move. All right.
Totally agree with
Yeah.
because to do this transformation, there are three major areas: is technology, and then people and process. So if we know the technology, but the people part, the management, the employees, whether they really have willingness or the right skills, the transformation won't happen.
Yeah.
And the last one is about processes. Like I'm talking to just now, some manufacturers, they tend to wait and see how other people are doing first, because they're afraid to change the process from the current process to the new process that they want to change. So that's why all these have to be clear and planned, so that the transformation can really happen.
Just to add one more thing is, I think Suyan really said, if you want to do a marathon, you don't need to make time for it. So if the SME want to go into IR4, I think the top management have to make time for it, identify the pain point, and work with the team of expert. And we are coming as a co-partner, and it's not a vendor, to help them to identify the issue and solve it. Yeah, that's what we can offer to the industry.
So Alvin, is there any other? Oh, sorry, Mr.
Yeah, sure. I would like to actually add on what J.C. is actually saying. It is important that for the business owner to actually create a far-sight planning. That means that when you're actually reluctant to change, is because that you're afraid that there's a risk there, and what happens if my investment doesn't go well, you know? So we need to have actually a pool of people with a different expertise to come along with it, rather than that is a single person opinion. So I believe that the Smart Forward, that is actually our roles to grow together and sharing opinion and make this thing happen.
Yeah, it's to provide the SME alternatives, solutions rather than just look at one solution or one vendor. Right now we are here to give you the alternative, whether you want to start, how small, how big, what type of investment, what type of alternative you want to do it on your own, or you want to use the services of the solution provider. So we are here to assist the SME. Any other challenges that we often hear from our clients?
I think to top up what everyone has shared, I think I completely agree, especially with what Katie is saying. A lot of the clients, when they meet us, they're giving us the symptom of the problem, right? You're like, oh, I've got this problem, manufacturing not working, blah, blah, blah. But actually, they are not looking at the bigger picture. They're not looking at the root of their business, and most of the time, they'll meet us the first time, oh, you can do more, right? Then you meet a second, oh, you can do even more. So it's great that they meet us, but there are a lot of people searching for help to look at bigger pictures. And then, like I said just now, right, 70% planning. And we have to have a big picture of how the company can be driven forward, not just solving small problems, but really to accelerate the growth.
Yeah, just allow me to add on something that I couldn't agree more with my fellow driver here to share their opinion. And many cases when we face our client, I keep telling our clients that you're the expert in your factory, all right? And you're the ones who know what's going on. We are here to help you, to complement you, to dig out the pinpoint that have been embedded, have been hidden elsewhere, somewhere. So that's why we are here to help you to dig it out, to resolve it. So that's this way you should know what is the first step you should move forward and leveraging on what are the tools, like for example, IoT and a robot or sensor or whatsoever, our team here will be able to help out. So it has to be a synergy between the factory and also the driver like us. Right.
So who will know their own operational problem or processes other than themselves, right? So a lot of time, I don't know about any of you like us, sometimes when we talk to our clients, when they read the RA report and when they talk to the one or two solution provider, the solution provider is providing solution based on the RA report without really go into detail on, or without getting the operational people involved in that process of planning or process of writing a technical proposal to solve the problem. So it's very surface, and sometimes money spent on technology, but it's not giving them the return. Then this piece of news, then when it's shared to other SME, then it becomes like, RF4 cannot work. Waste money.
You have to find a solution.
So the idea is the people themselves in the organization or in the operation line, they must be involved in this whole process. It cannot be a solution provider's job. Technical report cannot be just written by the solution provider. It has to be doing together because you know your problem better than us. Right. So I agree on that. People's side, people's involvement. Therefore, in SHRDC, we always believe in train up your people, get them to understand what the whole picture first. The bigger picture, how the technology can help, and then only you look at the technology, and then only you look at the processes. So where all these Industry 4.0 drivers can then come in and advise you on what's next. All right. So any other common challenges that you want to share?
Yes, the challenges, maybe I actually come up with something sharing on the little bit of successful impact. And something we are saying that it's very important that for the drivers or the solution providers to work together with the domain expertise, which is the production guy, who are always work day in, day out in the production. Sometimes over there, when you actually cross-sharing opinions, and you may actually uncover your blind spot. So we have one findings, which is we implement the Industry 4.0. At the end of the day, that particular processes, which is have the improvement, the return is actually 3 to 4 times, which is from the current achievement. Just for example, when we step in, the process daily production is 700 pieces. Just imagine one piece of the product is 10 ringgit. That means they're producing 7,000 revenue. But the thing is, we managed to achieve 3,500 piece of product. Let's say 10 ringgit again per pieces. So the daily income for that particular moment is already 35,000. That means the gain is 28,000. Just imagine for one day. From that moment onwards, what happened if, let's say, the factory operates for 30 days? They have 840 additional benefits come into them. Just imagine if 12 months, that particular year, they are actually gaining 10 millions. Just this is a real cases, which is actually our experience has shown and proof this is actually workable.
So when we hear from the SME, it is good to share the success stories like this. I think in the 𝗦𝗵𝗿 website, we also gathered a lot of success stories like this for the SME to go and to go through and see which case are more relevant or nearest to your problem, and then these are what problems have been solved by the Industry 4.0 drivers here. So please feel free to visit our website, 𝗦𝗵𝗿.my. With the challenges shared by all of you here, right? We know that this 𝗦𝗵𝗿 is a place to go. You know that the SME can always come to us, and we have expertise here from various technical areas. We have people from ERP, from solutions provider, from OEE, and all this. We know that these 9 Industry 4 drivers with different expertise are available here to assist the SMEs. Okay, like in 𝗔𝗱𝗪𝗔, for us, again, I want to focus and mention this again. We are pushing on people first, people strategy first. All right, our idea is to train your people so that they are able to develop design together with the solution provider and to sustain the system later on, and not to rely on external parties to help them in the maintenance. So in order to do that, we need to upskill your people, to upskill them and to get them to work on a proof of concept, a small POC, and to show the management that, look, this really works. And this is a small step that we have taken. Let's consider next bigger step and roll out a bigger project to see a bigger KPI improvement and a bigger productivity improvement. So people focused strategy is what we always share with our members, and I think today itself I already mentioned 3-4 times. so John, what about how can you support the SMEs in 𝗦𝗵𝗿 activities?
Yeah, I think for the 𝗦𝗵𝗿 group, we have all the different expertise come into play. If go to emerging EPC alone, maybe I can give you a very fast solution. But you come to 𝗦𝗵𝗿, I believe with the team we can go far. So if you want to go far, we move together as a team. So in different industry, we might have different experience, different type of solutions, and we can find the real pain point from the manufacturing efficiency up until the maintenance and even cybersecurity. So it's a whole package where SME 𝗦𝗵𝗿 can help and enhance the development. That's something that I think we can work together.
Yeah. So from your company point of view, what type of solution you can provide to the SMEs?
Okay, for emerging EPC, what we have is the plug and play OEE, where you can use minimized wiring or connecting SCADAs, and in less than 2 weeks, you can deploy the IoT system. From that, we can mining out your data and preparing the analysis. And from there, we can sit down with the owners. What will be the next plan they want to do? How to move into automations or other activities or SI they want to implement. Definitely, the whole team here in 𝗦𝗵𝗿 can do it together. Not denying people need to be trained by 𝗔𝗱𝗪𝗔. Let me promote.
Thank you so much. How about from the unified business point of view?
Okay,
What type of solutions can you provide to the SMEs?
from unified business, we are supporting the ecosystem. We want the manufacturers to embark on this journey. So we're talking about affordable, people are saying about sensors, smart ERP, cloud, either can be public cloud or hybrid cloud. So the reliable connectivity and the strong connectivity is key. So that's why in Unify, other than the normal connectivity, we are providing this network connectivity called SD-WAN, software defined wide area network. So I would like to refer it as the smart internet. So why smart S-M-A-R-T? Okay, first, S is secure. So if before this we very rely on the direct circuit cost, which is very expensive. So with this SD-WAN, we can have a very affordable solution for the SMEs, but yet secure. The second one is managed, meaning that compared to traditional WAN, the network administrator can manage easily to see all the equipment, the security element of the network setup. And the third one is affordable. Of course, like we have heard from the rest, is that cost is something very critical to manufacturers to start this journey. So with this affordable solution from Unify Business, we believe that it will help to encourage the businesses to embark on this journey. And the third one, the fourth one is reliable. So when talking about reliability, providing internet is one thing, but providing a reliable service to our customers is very key, especially to businesses. Of course, we cannot afford downtime and we have a very quality services. So thank you to all our Unify customers, because this year also we also being received award as the People Choice, as the from the World Web Forum, as the
Congratulations.
best
Nice.
network provider in Malaysia. So we will continue providing quality service to SMEs to support this affordable journey. And recently, this month, we also launched this Unified Care Program. So it's to show our commitment to our SME, where whenever there's downtime, we promise to restore it within 24 hours. If we are beyond that period, we give rebate to the customers. So that's our commitment. We still really to customers to pay.
Domino Pizza, you lambat.
So that's our aspiration, because we want to improve our service to our end customers. So because like I talked to Alvin as well, like his solution need a good and reliable connectivity in order for him to provide solution to end customers. So that's from Unify. And the last one is the smart acronym. It's about total solution, not about giving connectivity, but it's about how the network solution can support the technology. For instance, this total solution is that it can do bandwidth shaping, traffic monitoring, and application segregation. So as we know, in this industry, we have a smart ERP. So this mission critical application cannot being tempered. So we really have to have a focus in terms of the reliability. So from Unify, we work with many ecosystem partners, such as Cisco and other partners as well, provide a reliable solution to the SMEs.
So what is Industry 4.0? It's all about communication, connectivity. So it's like, you want to go to one place to another place. The infrastructure has to be reliable, has to be clear. So we need Unify a lot to help the companies in order for them to implement the IR4. What about Sue Ann? Do you have anything to share?
Our company specializes in providing ERP, which is enterprise resource planning. It is very vital, especially now during the pandemic. Actually, before pandemic or at any point of the time, we all need ERP to obtain a 360 overview on your shop floor in order for you to really understand what's going on in there and to manage your manpower from time to time. We pretty much connect everything in one system across all different departments: sales, purchase, inventory, production planning. Everything is connected in real time, so you can basically access data anytime, anywhere you want. And and us as Industry 4.0 drivers coming together, leveraging on this Smart Forward platform. And I hope every one of you out there also leverage on Smart Forward platforms to get to know all of us from very diverse backgrounds, different expertise, working together and to adopt Industry 4.0 solutions.
Yeah. Thanks. So, and
Thank
so
you.
we know that ERP is like a heartbeat of everything.
Yes.
So like other like maybe 𝗕𝗕𝗙, you want to share about, you know, how can other systems then support the whole ERP implementation?
Yes, our company, Aerosis Industry, is a very much like process and engineering based company specialized in MES, which stands for Manufacturing Execution System, OE, as well as a Research Inspection System. We provide basically the A to Z transformation throughout the entire shop floor, which is actually production floor digitalization. And because we like the hands-on and our hands always dirty, this is the reason that we are instrumental, resourceful, and experienced to work with our clients. So I mentioned that the client expert in their production to help them to strategically, pick up, identify the pinpoint, which is rather integral for them to understand, for example, what are the, in the past, maybe currently, their efficiency in terms of production, and what is the human error, and what is the process that are still manual, so that we can work together with our team here to help you to automate the process, all right, minimum human dependency, that turns out to reduce the human error, and that reduce the loss of the waste, for example, that turns out actually become the profit for the business. So in a nutshell, leveraging, for example, like the expertise from our fellow driver here, and we have Alvin who specializes in ROI and cost analysis, and EBC, John's are specialized in the plug and play OE. This is actually very, very good to gather large amount of quantity for the production equipment, and so within a very strict period of time for the transformation, and together with ICA, 𝗕𝗕𝗙, who are very pioneer in the the lean management, and also to maximize the production's efficiency. And of course, we are fellow and monitor ERP. We are confident that we should be able to form a kind of like collaborative and very interactive approach to help our SME to at least kickstart, with a very minimum effort, but then at the same time very high impact, but then it's a minimum cost effective solution. So this whole idea, we are very, very excited about this thing. Thank you.
Thanks, 𝗕𝗕𝗙. Mr. Ng, you have anything to add?
Yes, of course. In terms of ICA 40, we are very much complement to everyone and to the ecosystem. So other than the advanced data analytics, operations, digitizations of the operation system and things like that. So we have this so-called process philosophy, which is actually from there, we are thinking and find ways how to actually digitize the process. So in the way that we are actually talking very much onto the data technologies. So how do we do it is actually, we are actually cultivating the whole environment of change in the working culture. We practice and cultivate data-driven culture. And at the same time, we also build in and embed the process quality culture into that manufacturing environment. So with this, that will be actually the base before we are going to talk about the advanced level. So that are the things that after what 𝗕𝗕𝗙 or HRDC has done, we will do the enhancement in terms of the process philosophy and optimization. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So we know that all the solution providers here has their own area expertise to share to help the SMEs. So then come to the very important points. We talk about people, technology, processes, and one very big challenges that we often hear from the SME is about incentive. It's about capital investment. So Ms. Sariza, if we may ask, whether are there still available incentives to support Industry 4.0 project implementation?
Okay, thank you.
Maybe not now, maybe next year.
It's very popular question, right? I think everywhere, and when we come to the talking about the initiative of 4.0, people talking about, do you have any incentive for us to kickstart the 4.0? However, maybe I will highlight on the readiness assessment, of course, fully granted by the government. So we talk about 20 to 27,000 for one company, to undertake the readiness assessment, and then you don't have to pay anything. Alright, then it will last until 2025. I think this is
So means the readiness assessment will be available for
Yes.
SME, fully funded until 2025.
for SMEs. And then, and also after you enroll you approve the readiness assessment, you can apply for intervention fund under MIDA. Still available for next year, if you're not mistaken, because we got feedback from MIDA yesterday. Still available that fund. So that is talking about incentive. But for us, I think I'm more what do you call it? Maybe we don't talk about incentive at all. Maybe we start about how to engage, I mean, how to collaborate, and also increase your collaboration and partnership with, especially for those students kan, ada banyak expertise here. So engage them. I mean, talk to them. Maybe tak payah engage dulu lah, right? Just talk to them, have a chit chat, and ask their opinions on the how to, I mean, how can the smart forward team can help you, right? I think let's say kita avoid dulu, kita highlight, don't highlight on the incentive part. Maybe you can where to go, right? So call the smart forward, meet us, then you akan nampak the roadmap lah. The important thing is today's, I think one of the G's that we highlight here, the partnership part, private-public partnership. That is what government have already always talking about. So start the collaboration.
But I think incentive is still very important for SME. Especially for to encourage them to consider taking the first steps. Sometimes they know that they have to do it, but they still because the government also announced in the budget that there will be incentive. So they definitely say, hey, since there's incentive, we also want to tap on the incentive as well.
I do agree with you, but sometimes the SMEs sometimes they don't know where to go. I mean, how to assess the incentive, right? So I think SMEs also, when you partners with them, maybe smart forward, maybe they can also channel with certain agencies. They can talk with certain agencies. So we tap together with solution providers and also the agencies, especially MDAC, right? So SME Corp is still available.
So in smart forward team, we also have a division to look at where else, what other government incentives can you go through other than NPC? We have also others opportunities that you may want to consider, and we will direct you to that agency, and you can then apply the grant, a matching grant or a grant on your own, or with our help. All right. So even with incentive and matching grant, like from this various government agency, a lot of business owners still come in and ask us, okay, I still have to pay 50%, or okay, I still have to pay 40% or 30%. What is the ROI? Although some of them, even though there is a matching grant, they still want to know, okay, I still have to pay, for example, the whole project costs $500,000, I still have to pay 250,000. So what is my ROI for this 250,000? So they still ask that kind of questions. So I'm not sure about any of you have want to share, like maybe Alvin?
Great. This is my favorite topic. Very fortunate for me, I'm the only manufacturing cost accountant here. So ROI is a very big topic. I can't cover everything here, but let's say they get a grant, not a big size, maybe 200,000 or whatever. With the 200,000 grant, which is good for SME. I always joke with my customers, even with bad planning, your ROI is guaranteed 20 to 30%. Guaranteed. Because you are digitizing your business, you're going paperless, you're relying less on your workers. So all the not just qualitative but quantitative but qualitative will improve, right? So that's given. Now, but here we're not just talking about, take the money, implement, and good luck, right? So we're saying, have a proper planning. Most of the time, we don't talk about percentage.
if you do it properly, you're looking at how many times the return. Yeah. And as I was talking to Katie, you know, some of the projects, if you do it properly, you're talking about 200 to 300% return. And these are, it's not exceptional, it's not uncommon. It is quite easily achievable with proper planning, with proper guidance, right? And this is where I'm very fortunate to sit down case by case, because a lot of people, when they calculate, they only look at certain costs, right? Manufacturing, you have what? Labor, direct, overhead, you know, your electricity, your processing.
Yeah.
A lot of people overlook wastage as a huge topic. And if we can just sit down and say, put down on paper some numbers, it's very, very easy to get your ROI back. Yeah, very easy.
Awesome.
Katie, maybe you want to share your, some of your case study. Yeah.
If you're talking about this, we always, the business owner like to talk about ROI. But why don't we talk about the value of the investment? So the value of the investment always come into play, because that you have to take a little bit of mindset direction, which is actually commonly we discuss with the business owner. For example, my real case study. In the timber industry, this company producing 50 containers a month. Then you say that if I adopt Industry 4.0, what advantage can I have? Then I say, what is your target? I'm planning to go to 70 or 80 containers per month. Oh yeah, that is a good topic. That's the value of why you're investing into Industry 4. And now, let's say your investment, you need all this, then the assessment coming in, and then we sit down together, work together with the business owner and also the production team, and see how can we achieve stages by stages progressively until we achieve our target at 70 to 80 containers per month. Let's put up a short-term and the long-term plan together. That is how actually we do it. Yeah, and of course, over there, like Alvin has been saying, that the cost management has to come in. How effective is your investment progressively, small steps, and how you take the precaution over there. Yeah. So I think the value of investment is more important.
Yeah. But I mean, since there's quite a lot of audience watching, again, I'm a big advocate of 20/80 rule. Look at where is 20% of what problems you can solve that can give you 80% of the growth.
Yes.
Right? You hit it where it's really, really hot, your returns are guaranteed. Yeah. Most of my customers, you know, after coming back to us, and the nature of my business is that they can add on later on. And some of my customers have been adding on for 2 years. And some of them reaching the 3rd year already. Hey, I want to add more things. Hey, this is helping me, blah, blah, blah. It's great. It's great for us because we can see real returns for my customer. Yeah.
So with this ROI, if you can clearly quantify the data and are able to show it to the business owners, I think the buy-in is going to be faster than you just tell them, hey, you will have improvement by, you have this improvement and that improvement, right?
Yes.
So show them data. Data is key. Data is important. Right? So I just
want to add, I think industrial resolution from 1 to 4, we're talking about mechanism, speed, IT, all is value. At current stage, data is really a huge value that people need to identify. Data, I mean, in IR4, we talk about OEEs, MES, ERP, but don't forget, on the maintenance side, I think some of the foreign countries already start maintenance 4.0, where you can have descriptive maintenance, predictive maintenance, or preventive maintenance. One of the incidents that we seen before with our, and I'm not allowed to quote the company name, but it's one of our national oil company. Because the data available, the unplanned downtime cost, due to we are able to earlier identify the root cause, save them multi-millions. So data is very critical. Implementation of IR4, I think, is a must for the next generation and for future tech. Yeah, something I want
so we talk about using data to come up with the predictive analysis, so that we are able to solve the problem before the problem.
So you can plan in advance.
And just to going back to this is where your ROI is not how many percent anymore, it's how many times. That's exactly my example. And again, we are not just looking at manufacturing at your machine, we are looking at full end-to-end big picture. Right. So for the audience watching, bear that in mind. That's very important.
So while you're talking, I'm actually also communicating with Penny at the back on any Q&A from the audience.
Yep. And
teamwork, we know that all our questions are answered by Mr. Yap. All right, so thank you, Mr. Yap. I think Mr. Yap is online. So we don't want to leave him out. We know that he's online now. Mr. Yap, can you unmute yourself if I may ask you a question so that, we can pull you back into the group. We know that you are the key person driving this initiative. Can we have Mr. Yap?
Yep. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can.
Yep. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry that I cannot join you all today because I have some emergency right now. I'm in the hospital visiting someone of my family members. So I'm very sorry, but very, very happy to join you all online over here and see that everyone is collaborating for the betterment of all the SMEs. I would just like to highlight that when the Smart Forward was initiated by 𝗕𝗫𝗄 at that time, the core reason is that to assemble the different expertise from the different service provider, including MPC, for us to have a more comprehensive solution for the SMEs. Because when I was the technical committee for the Industry Forward and National Vice President for the SME Malaysia, we see that there's so many gaps. Many of the SMEs don't understand. Many of them go to the service provider, but they only wanted to sell their services, sell their products, and the SMEs do not know where to go. So that's why that it's very important for the SMEs right here to write on the commitment of the Smart Forward, where everyone has come in together, not to compete, but to add value and collaborate by having, like what Sok Leng has mentioned, we have the website 𝗦𝗿𝗿 to have a lot of resources over there. Then you can get consultation over there as well. And of course, that later on, Sok Leng will announce that we'll have the web forum that coming along that to tell you a little bit more detail. Today is just an introduction. In short, on behalf of 𝗕𝗫𝗄, okay, we as the strategic marketing and branding company, we were very happy that we can actually bring everyone together and help the technology service provider to communicate the concept of the Industry 4.0 to make it easy for the SMEs to understand. And like what my background says, driving the Industry 4 adoption in Malaysia, that is what we are aiming for. And should there be any SMEs who need any help, I believe that the Smart Forward Industry 4.0 drivers are willing to offer their consultation without commitment. So please do take advantage of this. There will be a lot more activities that will be coming along, and hope that everyone would be able to embark into the journey smoothly and getting your best ROI. Thank you very much, Sok Leng.
Thank you, Mr. Yap.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. Managed to jump in as well. I think I was missing here too. All right, so we have a question from the audience here by Azhar. So I think this question will be addressed to Puan Saliza. Yeah, it's about you mentioned that one of the biggest challenge from client side is there are too many solutions out there that claim to be Industry 4.0 solution provider, but in reality they are not. So this question is, does the government has any plan to certify the Industry 4.0 technology provider so that the end user can choose the correct supplier before they invest?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Tough question,
Talking about the certification. Are you
qualifying the solution provider? Yeah.
For us, I mean MPC, local aspects, right? Yes, wherever we collaborate, they are already qualified as a solution provider. Because we believe that every solution provider are very unique. They have their own expertise, of course, their own mechanism, but they share the same objective. That's the most important. right? Even though we're talking about certification, however, let's say when we have a grant, right? So we collaborate them together, such as like this, right? So forward. So from here, I believe that we don't need certain specific certification for them. Whatever they collaborate, they have already, the criteria is there, right? So then after that, the company need to communicate and just share whatever objective and just communicate and join together with the program. I think that is the certification we're talking about. But however, maybe before for MPC, before we start any program, we make sure that everybody or the social provider really understand what are the requirements, right? Because we want to, at the end, we have the objective already set, the strategy is the target. So everybody are talking about the same language. That's the most important, that we want to help, want to assist our students.
So MPC, you have you call it the technology partners, right?
Yeah.
So on MPC itself, they have these technology partners certified by MPC. But however, like you mentioned, probably there are more out there that may also complement to and offer other services as well. Right. Okay. Another question from Azhar. Okay. At the global view, there are 857 companies who have collaborated under the OPCUA interoperability standard for secure, reliable, and platform independent information exchange. However, to date, there's only 2 companies from Malaysia who participate as a member. So the question is there any reason why our local suppliers are not part of this global initiative and standard? So he's talking about this OPCUA standards. Why only 2 companies in Malaysia participate as a members and not as many as the one overseas? I mean, maybe one of the...
Yeah, I think I can answer on the first part, and from the technical perspective. OPCUA basically is a communication protocol for the machine and the cloud and the communication and all that. So it is a good tool to have if you wanted to do up your machinery for the real-time connectivity. But as I mentioned just now, first thing first, you have got to understand what is the pinpoint of your factory. All right. Then from there, this is like, so we have to prescribe the right remedy to help to identify what are your loss. All right. And I think already mentioned enough to about that. And so whether or not you want to get somebody that's certified with OPCUA, or a team of people who has a hands-on experience that who are able also to help to prescribe the right remedy, maybe together with OPCUA, but another maybe substitution with a lower cost possibly, and that to help you to do the data, real-time data establishment. And so besides that, OPCUA actually is just a tool, but then actually many other industries, for example, semiconductor industry, they engage SSMS, they call it system protocol. So every industry have a different compliances. It's just like the oil and gas as well. So yes, let us know what is your difficulty to get the certified or the right supplier. You can always find you the right partner to work with. That probably with having the certified OPCUA expertise. Right? Because we're also using the OPCUA, and we do not need to certify. It's just a tool. It isn't Microsoft.
It's a reference.
Certified, but
it's a reference.
yeah, it's a reference. Correct. I'm going to answer the question.
Can I just top up to that? And it's very interesting that, and I'm generalizing, and I do apologize because for me personally, when I started my journey, even as a student, we visited the Procter & Gamble factory. They did ferroliquid. They would produce roughly 600 bottles of liquid in 1 minute. Okay, 600 bottles of ferroliquid in 1 minute. This was in 2005, 2006. The word IR4 did not exist. Okay, so I'm going back to SMEs. Sure, standardization and brand names are good, but what do you want as a manufacturer? Right. Our goal here is, if you want a business plan, we we have a consultant here. If you want a costing firm, we have a consultant here. If you want a machinery consultant, we have here. If you want waste management or big data or cloud, we have it here. But the idea is, how can we, Smart Forward, help you not just grow your business, but accelerate your business? Yes. That to me is a bigger direction that we want to go. And this is where the first question, how can Smart Forward help SME manufacturers? The bigger vision is to make Malaysia one of the highest productivity country, because by country, our income is relying on export and manufacturing. We have a lot of potential that is untapped. Sorry.
Okay, so thank you all panelists for this great session and stories. I believe the discussion will go on and on. If you have 24 hours, we will be talking 24 hours because it's so interesting, and everyone always has different experience dealing with different companies with different problems and different solutions, and you know, we can talk forever. so due to time constraint, we will. Okay, Mr. Yap raised his hand. I think Mr. Yap, do you want to do the closing?
Okay, no, because just now Asa has asked whether got any certified whatever system provider and so forth. But in my opinion, over here is there never be the best or qualified one. As what Zaliza has mentioned, that everyone have their own expertise, but you are not looking for the best. You are looking for what is the solution that is most relevant to you and most suitable for you, and of course, what the solutions that you can afford that can actually bring you further. Now, we experience that a lot of the local or foreign this service provider that they have all the solutions that I have, but just that when they go over there, the SMEs and the solution provider cannot talk. Why? Because the solution provider, they are so used to the MNC over there, and they don't understand how does the SME works. So when it goes to the process and implementation that time, it's very hard for you to actually embark into the journey. And I have to say that in the smart manufacturing, why you always say that it is a journey, because it doesn't stop when you completed your project. After that, you will still have to have continuous scalability and enhance it further. So it's very important to get some partners that is not only willing to recommend, not only able to recommend other solutions that they're not selling, but also willing to. Because very often when you look for the solution provider, I would want to push my products. I want to push my solutions that I survey. But if that solution provider can be an open-minded to actually recommend other people to come in and put your system and put your factory as the priority, I think that would be the best choice that you should actually look for. Sorry, Sok-Ling, that would be my added answer towards that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yap. So that comes to the end of this forum. The adoption of Industry 4 will definitely assist the industry, especially the SMEs, in increasing efficiency and productivity to remain relevant and competitive at domestic and at a global market. So as part of the Smart Forward initiative, the team also will continue to offer our services and knowledge with all of you. And as such, there will be a series of web forums scheduled next year, for next year, right? So we hope to see you soon again, and thank you for your participation, and stay safe, and let's smart forward together. Oh yeah, before I end the session, I also want to thank MPC for hosting this web forum. It's a nice studio here, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.